This is our Spanish teacher who lived 2 years in France, and she's going to talk about how poverty was in there.
We're gonna ask you a few questions. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. The first question is, what is poverty?
Well, for me, it's a very sad situation, and it's a condition that many people have because of injustice, because of the economy, and it is something that it's very, very difficult because it's not only to not have money. Poverty has a lot of problems as a cause of itself.
And what do you think about it?
I don't like it. And I really think that we could do something as a society to eliminate poverty. And we are indifferent. When we don't have the problem in our lives, we are indifferent. But we could do something for other people.
So how is poverty in France?
In France, there is poverty, but it is not as visible as we can find it in Mexico. There are people called, no, I'm sorry because I'm going to say the word in French, but
No, it doesn't matter.
okay, homeless.
Homeless.
There are homeless, but you can see them sometimes, not very often. And here in Mexico, you can see all these things, many people that are in the streets asking for money. And this situation is not as visible as, in France it's not so frequently that we can see that. But there is poverty also.
Yeah. And in your opinion, is education an important factor?
Well, I think that education is the main factor to eliminate poverty because it's through education that a person can change the conditions that he or her has.
And how is education here in Aguascalientes?
Well, education here, we have a contrast. I think that education in France has the same level for all people, but here in Mexico, if you can pay, you have a better education. But if you don't have enough money, you have less opportunities. You have an education that is not it's not
The best.
the best, but also I'm thinking about justice because we have all the same rights, and this difference, if you have or you don't have money,
It's not fair.
It's not fair. That's the word I was looking for. It's not fair because if you don't have money, you don't have the opportunity, and that's terrible.
In your own words, for you, what is corruption?
Why?
What?
is corruption?
What is corruption? Corruption is something that you do, and it is against yourself, against your principles, against your education, against the things that you believe, the things that your values.
How can you describe how is the corruption in France?
The corruption in France. Well, I had some experiences, and I saw that corruption in France, it's not so frequent.
Yeah.
Because this idea of civilization is it's very important for French people. Here in Mexico, we do something that benefits us, but that is against other people, and we do it. And in France, people think about the others. So I think that the corruption in France, I have to say it exists, but it's not in the heart of their beliefs. It's not in the heart of their attitude or their actions. They always think about others.
Have you noticed corruption here in Mexico?
Could you repeat the question?
Have you noticed corruption here in Mexico?
Always, many times. I can't explain just one, a lot of times.
Do you think corruption has something to do with this social problem?
With poverty?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Okay, yes, I think that it's the base of poverty. Maybe it's a big problem that goes in this sense, that causes poverty.
In your opinion, do you think gender inequality is an important factor in this social problem, and why?
Absolutely. And why? Because this injustice, this thing that it's not fair for many people, but especially for women. So I think that gender it's a special situation. If you are women, you have less opportunities in education, and therefore to have money to
get a job.
to get better conditions of life.
Do you think poverty can be eradicated?
That's maybe a topic. I don't know. I would like to eradicate poverty, but I'm not sure that this is possible. What we can do is reduce it, but eliminate, I think that it would be impossible.
How can you help fight this social problem?
Well, I think that the first thing that we have to do is self-reflection, to think about us, about our situation, about our acts and attitudes and decisions. And if we change what we do, what we say, what we teach to others, I think that we can change mentalities, and mentalities can change situations like poverty or violence or another thing like that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.